Is this on?
Welcome here, everybody, to the first annual TV Awards night. I don't have a real name tag. I'm Chris. Okay, about 2 months ago, you all should have gotten something in the mail. I know Mary didn't, but we'll correct that. Or you visited your local library and voted on the Ollie Awards, which recognize outstanding achievement by WinTV volunteers, such as yourselves. Tonight, we've tallied all the votes. We got the winners, and it's pretty cool. So I won't hold things up. We're going to start off the evening by recognizing the backbone of our organization, the volunteers. Okay, well, let's start off with the man that we call whenever we have a question about Windsor history. He brought us the Newgate documentary this year, Mr. Ted Anderson.
I'd like to thank the Tobacco Valley Tourism Council for funding that project, Mary Ann Pleva for editing it, and Ken Sladek, who's not here, who went to heroic efforts to film that. It was a good experience, a learning experience, and I was glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
These are in no particular order. I started kind of thinking maybe we'd go alphabetically, but then that would entail work. So the next is a person who does, at last count, yeah, he does everything here. He also makes the longest consistent commute. Mr. Tim Lynch.
All right.
Right here.
Identity crisis. Farmington, Connecticut. Next, the man who tells us the score of the Windsor High games every Thursday night on the Windsor Report, as well as playback. Once a month, Mr. Robert Grant.
Robert.
Next, one of the, aside from myself, one of the bigger hams involved with the organization, half-size man himself from the Soda Jerks, Mr. Ron Harner. Okay, she's not here. Next, our Northwest Park connection. The man who brings us a Northwest Park nature moment. Mr. Maple Sugaring himself, Doug Cloutier. And the man with the magic fingers, who has upset a lot of parents with his rock guitar series, I'm sure. Mr. Bob Corey. And the person who keeps us on the air literally 24 hours a day. She's responsible for the WinTV community calendar, and unfortunately we're losing her because she's moving out of town. We're all going to miss her very much. Cynthia Mahoney. And our WinTV senior voice, who is going on the database. I'm going to correct that myself. Mary Smith. adult class. She's been with us since the beginning, I believe. Pat Miranda. Another one of our active... Give that man a lady in the balcony. One of our more active volunteers who, despite being a fantastic producer, director, editor, also has a mean kick. Monica Capazza. Speaking of mean kicks, another martial arts related volunteer, Master Joe Jones. Two volunteers. A man who provided us with this evening's opening music, and his wife, who was active with the League of Women Voters, the legislative interviews, Sid and Betty Garvey.
We got a combination.
We were running short. The man who directs Senior Voice every month and is also a very good softball pitcher, I found out this summer, Mr. Guy Musco. And last but certainly not least, the man with the camera on Senior's Voice, Mr. Mike Gina. Well, that does it. Being our 10th anniversary year, what we decided to do this year would be to establish a WinTV Hall of Fame. And the general credentials are at least 5 years of outstanding service to WinTV. And here with the very first induction is our own station manager, Marty DiPiero.
Thank you. This woman has been active with WinTV since 1982. She started out as a volunteer, she served on the board, and she became the first paid staff person for WinTV in 1985. In her years at WinTV, we saw growth in community access in Windsor in every aspect, volunteer-wise, funding-wise, program-wise, space-wise, equipment-wise. It's continued to grow. She's been a liaison with the League of Women Voters and getting programming, numerous programming for WinTV, not only the Know Your Town series, but the legislative interviews. She was influential in starting up live election night coverage for WinTV. This person has been dedicated. Her commitment to WinTV has been amazing. She's inspired me. I'd like you all to help us acknowledge Mary Ann Pleva as the first inductee.
And now, here to present the technical awards is WinTV board member Tom Donahue.
I was very busy. I was hoping to make a pasta dish for tonight, which I think would have rounded things out. I was excited. I have to say, when Chris called me and asked me, He said, would you present the award for editing, sound, and lighting? And I thought that was one award I had to give. Pretty easy. Lo and behold, it's 3 awards, and it's still pretty easy. The first one is for editing, and I'm sure everybody here understands what editing is. You're editing the show. And we got the winner here. Everybody learns? By the way, these were brought by a big accounting firm. No one knows. Outstanding achievement in editing is Monica Capazia. Congratulations.
Way to go.
The next category is for outstanding achievement in sound. I bet you all know what sound is. That's sound. That's sound. Outstanding achievement in sound. Douglas Cloutier, A History of Maple Sugaring. I get to do one more. It's for outstanding achievement in lighting. If I see the switches, I'll show you what that is. Outstanding achievement in lighting. David Johnson for the Natural Food Diner. Accepted for David today is Bob Carroll. Have you been cooking the recipes?
I want to make a speech for Dave.
By all means.
Dave said the secret to good lighting is proper illumination. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Bob, for telling Dave where you live. Now, here with the second TV Hall of Fame induction is again our own Marty Apiro.
I didn't think it'd be this quick. Again, another longtime WinTV volunteer. She served on the board. She served as chairman of the board. She served as president of the board. She and another woman were responsible for starting up the training classes in 1985, I believe, and has since then dedicated herself to working on those video production classes, not only for the adults in the fall and spring, but also for the children's workshops in the summertime. She's coming back to us again this year as our president and chairman of the board, Carol Hartman.
The best in community arts. No one performs like local cable programming. TV that hits home.
A few days ago, Bill stopped by and asked me when we were going to get a health insurance plan. I told him health insurance is hard to get. Billy said he heard about a new Connecticut law that gives us access to health insurance. I told him I'd check it out. I did. And he was right. If you own a company in Connecticut with 25 or fewer employees, you're eligible for a health insurance plan. Guaranteed. Just contact an insurance company, agent, or HMO and ask for the small employer or special health care plans by name.
We were just motoring through these. Marty took my agenda. I don't even need it. Next up is WinTV board member Michael Joy, presenting the awards for Best Set Design, Best Director, and Best On-Air Personality.
Sure glad I didn't have to do best sound. Somebody was just asking about the sound at the town council meetings and said, you know, some of those people mumble, you can hardly hear them. I said, you should have to sit next to them. You're lucky. So you're at home. Okay. New firehouse and a 4% budget increase. Now, this is for outstanding set design, which is an important and sometimes overlooked aspect of any good production. These two magnificent columns behind me could be holding up your deck next summer with concrete poured in them, but on TV they look great. It's wonderful. Why can't we do that with a town budget? Outstanding set design and surprise, David Johnson, auction 26. Accepting for David. David, I'm sure, would want you to know that you can fool all the people all the time, and I'm sure he's very deserving of this award. Looks like a trophy. Outstanding Director. This is an interesting position. In a tape show, directing is an art form. In a live show, directing is controlled chaos, especially for the talent. You'll see on network shows, the talent wears this thing that's called an IFB, and it loops over your ear and sticks in your ear. And while you're sitting there getting all the commentators in this ear, you're getting this son of a gun in the other ear, who's telling you where to go next, what to say next, when the commercial's coming, what you just said that was wrong, what you better say next that ought to be right, and keeps asking you, how long have you worked here, not counting tomorrow. That's the director. And this year's outstanding director is Tim Lynch. Come around here so you can make the speech. Ron. Ron. Great.
I'm sorry, they ran out of tags. What can I say? I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm learning a lot, and I would like to pursue this as a career sometime, but I enjoy working with people at the town council, and there are a lot of great people, and just thank you very much.
Great fellow.
Tim, I hope you get a job in professional television and you can unlearn all these bad habits that you've acquired over the last several years. I wish there'd been a WinTV when I was growing up here in town. Gosh, it would have been a lot of fun. And I kind of envy the fellows your age that have the opportunity to do this instead of terrorizing the neighborhood and the things we used to do when we were kids, because we didn't have WinTV. Billy Smith's telling me about how he and his buddies used to get in old cars and get them on Rainbow Reservoir this time of year, driving around bashing at each other. We used to ride our sleds down the hill on Pleasant Street out onto the Farmington River and down almost to the railroad bridge where there wasn't any ice and it was just water. Amazed our mothers that trip. If we only had WinTV, it would have been great. And I'll tell you, it makes me nervous being in the business of television to see how well prepared the people are that are coming along who want my job. Very tough. But it's all due to programs such as this. And one thing to be sure of, what WinTV does for the community, we estimate at the network level that a letter represents the opinions of, say, 5,000 viewers. The one person who got mad enough to write it down and find the address and send it in, and the other 5,000 to just talk about it. Even local stations, and say the Hartford Current, They feel a letter is worth 500 readers or 500 viewers. Channel 3 figures that ratio for every letter they get. And I know, Marty, that every letter you get represents the opinion of one person. And it's a very dedicated audience. And believe me, I never knew how many people were watching Monday nights. But now I know. To be an outstanding on-air personality requires not only poise and composure in front of the camera, but also an ability to work with those people that yell in your ear and edit your shows and develop a rapport with your audience, because TV is a one-way medium so far. That's changing. But when you communicate to people, you really have to communicate and develop a feeling with them that they trust you and that they believe you. Totally different from running for office. And the outstanding on-air personality is Elizabeth from the Windsor Report. Mangine or Mangini? Mangine. Elizabeth Mangine. Hi, Elizabeth. Fix this up again. You're back.
We've been doing the show on and off for almost a year now. Right now, I know she wished she could be here. I talked to her earlier this afternoon, but we're both kind of having problems in our jobs, which are requiring us to work a little later, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to do it in the past month, but we would like to start it up again when we have time. It's very difficult, but it's a lot of work. Thanks.
And I would just add my thanks to all the volunteers and the folks who create and put on all this great programming, and especially those of you who stay awake on Monday nights with us, sometimes till midnight, so we can do the town's business and get it communicated. WinTV provides a great service, and that's why I'm happy to be a volunteer with what seldom free time I have. It's a lot of fun to see this grow. Chris?
Thanks, Mike. David, unfortunately, couldn't be here. He and his wife are out working on their next big project, which is adopting a child from Brazil. So they're at the immigration office tonight. Otherwise, they both would have been here. Okay. Next up, we're going to have a little break. We're going to go and... well, we're going to stay, actually. We're going to listen to a musical number that our own Sid Garvey has composed himself for the occasion. In the meantime, we'll just stretch. Joe Vegas over here.
Oh, shoot. Might catch you on the elbow.
A citizen of the world. He lived up the road near Hayden Station. He loved his country, stayed in town. His diplomat of wide renown. His nickname, Ollie, lives in celebration. Windsor is proud of Ollie and of WinTV. Since 1982, we've shown town meetings. When volunteers on hand tonight have lighted, filmed, and brought delight, Mayor Griffin and his council send their greetings. A CBS and Fox and NBC. Turner's primetime ratings will diminish, and we could finish ahead with Win TV. Happy birthday, Win TV.
The events that make your community special. O programming. TV that hits home.
Hi, I'm Ed Sharp from the Soda Jerks, reminding you to support your local public access station. Thank you.
They are our national treasures, timeless, priceless, riches that belong to us all. But we have another national treasure that we must not forget. It is our water, the lifeblood of our nation. It is the water we drink, the water for our farms and ranches, the water for our industries, now and for the future. Find out what you can do about conserving our water and improving its quality. We owe it to our children. Call 1-800-THE-SOIL.
Okay, next up we have our own board president, Carol Hartman, presenting two very special service awards.
Many of the people come to NTV, get a chance to appear in front of the camera, have their names on the credits, and everybody knows who they are. And it's kind of fun walking around town when people say, "Oh, hello, I saw you on TV." But we have one volunteer that has put in time regularly on a weekly basis for over 3 years now. She comes in every Monday morning and types our community calendar. It's a job that nobody knows is happening. I don't know that a lot of volunteers get to see her. Marty recently told us that she's going to be moving out of town, and she went into an utter state of panic. What are we going to do? I'd like now for Cynthia Mahoney to come up. The second award I have to give out tonight is to David Johnson, who's not here, but I think it should be stated. He started training class last year, and Pat kept telling me about this great guy in our morning class. He was really good, and she was going to send him out on this remote project. And those of you who've been through training classes know that we have very scaled down projects for the classes. And I said, "Are you sure you really want to do this?" It was a huge project. It was the Pilgard property. I don't know if any of you saw that show. And it turned out wonderful. Well, what I guess we didn't know was really how talented and experienced David really was. And he has not stopped working for Win TV since then. He's been a major force in the telethon, as you saw on the set. He helped in the planning. He's been involved with produced the Natural Food Diner series. And we snatched him to get on the board, too. And he's already started working for us on the board. So I would like to have a little bit of recognition for David Johnson, even though he's not here today.
Thank you, Carol. Now, with our final Hall of Fame induction of the evening. Lady who needs no introduction. Marty.
Our last inductee into the Hall of Fame does not like to be in front of the camera. She would much rather be behind the camera. And that's where she's been for 10 years? 10 years. She's the other half of H&M Productions, which is Carol Hartman and Pat Mirando. She again has worked on video training classes for 7 years, and the adult and children's classes. She's what I call the unflappable person. I love Pat to come in because I can always moan and groan about something that's going wrong, and she keeps me on even keel. She's wonderful. Pat, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Next up to present the awards for outstanding programs is our own left-handed board treasurer, Bob Carroll.
The left-handed issue is something because 2 or 3 months ago I went to a seminar in Bloomfield, and of a room filled with 5 people, 4 of us were left-handed. Chris wasn't. We never let him forget it. But anyways, I'm presenting 4 awards. 4. The first one is the Outstanding Short Subject Program. Can you all, little humor there, very little humor, sorry. But short subjects are interesting. What's it? Yeah, so called. Is an interesting little topic that the nominees are the community profiles produced and directed by Mark Mills? Oh, those are 2 L's, not a U. Windsor High School Boys Swim Team by Rachel Flatt. And Torch Run 1991 by Mark Mills. And the winner is... Probably wondering who. The Windsor High School Swim Team, produced and directed by Rachel Flatt. Is she here tonight? The next award is going to be for Outstanding Entertainment Program, and it depends upon what your idea of entertainment is. The nominees is by Elvis. Was Elvis dead or alive? I missed that one. The Shad Derby Parade, 1991. I think most of us missed that one. It was by Kent Sladek. The Soda Jerks, produced by the Soda Jerks. Songs from Around the World by Marty DePero. Are you going to hum if you win? No. The $10,000 Triple Challenge by Ed Zambarello and Ron Hardner.
I know you.
No. The decimal point is in by 2 spaces. And the winner, produced by the Soda Jerks, directed by Tim Lynch, is the Outstanding Entertainment. Tim, you want to talk? Next one. There it is. This is it. This is the entertainment program. And you each get a section. Which part do you want? Believe it or not, the next award is the Informational Program Award. They're going to run this last part back. Get it? It's a little joke. The nominees, oh my God, there's 10 nominees. I'll just give you the first name of each. The name of them all. No, Natural Food Dinner by David Johnson. The Windsor Report by Tim Lynch and Liz Mangy. Rock Guitar by Bob Perry. Senior's Voice by Mary Smith. Beginning Guitar by Bob Perry. Porry, excuse me. Corner of Connecticut, Tom Donahue. VOE, I'm sure that's initials for something. By Phil Liggett. Fire Engine Maintenance by Douglas Cloutier. Acquaintance Rate by Rachel Flagg. On Camera with Judy Merrick. And How Does a Frog Adapt to Its Home by Doug Cloutier. and the frog usually adapts to a song one leap at a time. The winner is the Windsor Report, produced by Tim Lynch and Elizabeth Manji and directed by Tim Lynch. The last and final opportunity for me to flub up names is the outstanding documentary Bob, which is the note after. And a little humor there too. The nominees, I'm gonna miss this, I'm sure. La Isla Nia by Marian Pleva. What's the proper name for that, Marian?
La Isla Nina.
There you go.
Something like that, Bob.
Thank you. The 1991 Shad Derby Coronation Ball by Ed Rudolph. The Restoration in Progress, the Ellsworth Homestead by Marty DePiro and Marian Pleva. The History of Maple Sugaring by Douglas Cloutier. The Portrait of Josh Dion by Mona Capaz. Soldier of the American Revolution, Ted Anderson and Marian Pleva. The Movies, The Independent Producer by Stuart Cook. And the winner, you may not believe this, it's blank. No, The Soldier of the American Revolution by Ted Anderson.
Thank you, Mary Ann, too.
Now I know why Clint Eastwood doesn't do the Emmys. Chris, it's back to you.
In terms of the drug abuse problem in the community, it is a very serious...
I don't think every town has to have an incinerator. I don't think that...
We're looking at a race with almost 2 million votes and a margin.
But your tax is going to continue to escalate at 26%. That has never happened anywhere in this country.
For the best in community politics, you can't argue with local cable programming. TV that hits home.
There are questions anybody can answer. And questions nobody can answer. Then there are all those questions in between. Important questions your academic, school, or public librarian can help you answer. When nobody else can. Any questions?
Okay, got one more award, and it's the big one. Pool table? If you've noticed the tablecloth that says the big one on it. Just kind of silly there. The next award is the Volunteer of the Year Award, and it is being presented by President of the Board, Carol Hartman.
First of all, I guess by way of a little bit of history of Win TV, back in 1985, when we got to the end of one of our years in December, we realized that we had a lot of people that had been putting in a lot of time to Win TV, and nobody was giving them any recognition. So very sheepishly, a couple of us got together and decided to establish this Volunteer of the Year Award. And took off. And I want to congratulate Chris tonight, because this is the best award ceremony we've ever had, and it's come a long way since we started. I don't think I want to keep you up in suspense, because I'm not sure it's going to be very suspenseful for a lot of people to guess who might be the Volunteer Year Award. So will Tim Lynch come up here, please? Tim is well known to many people, certainly the council members and the members of the TPC. For over a year, he managed to direct 4 meetings a month. And as many of you know, some of those go well after midnight. And he worked with all levels of volunteers on the camera. It was quite an amazing feat. I got my cheat sheet in front of me. Look at it. There's a whole page of tiny handwriting of all the things that he's done. He started doing these council meetings back before we had the nice equipment at Town Hall, too. If any of you have been around, you know what it was like to work with the trunk and carry that back and forth. Tim is responsible for introducing the members of the Soda Jerks, very successful production team here, and an integral part of their productions. I'm told that he's to be credited for the fact that anything gets done because he's got the level head and gets the work done, and the rest of them are the idea men and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right.
He also directs many shows in the studio, including Candidates Night, shows to the League of Women Voters, directed most of the telethon himself, which was, what, 12 hours, or 8 hours this year? 12? 10 hours this year? 12 hours. He's an integral part of the Windsor Report. He also has time left over to go and do some of his own remote shooting, and he's done the Northwest Park show and one on the tobacco machine, tobacco museum at Northwest Park. So I'm really happy to give this to Tim Lynch this year, Volunteer of the Year. Volunteer of the Year, Tim Lynch. Those of you who haven't noticed, also Volunteer of the Year gets their name engraved in a plaque that's on the wall in the studio, so you might take a look at that sometime too.
I just want to say it has been a lot of fun. I mean, a year and a half, it's been a lot of work, but the biggest part in the Win TV organization and why I stay around and continue to do the work is because of the people. I mean, the people are great, and I really enjoy working with them. If it wasn't for them, I'm sure I wouldn't be putting in as much time as I do, but I just hope I can continue doing it in the years to come while I'm still here. Thanks.
Little memo here. Next year, I say we put Tim closer to the front. Certainly, if anyone would like to help Tim out to his car, stuff that could be helped. Well, that's it. Record time. Thank everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It's been a great year for me, in particular. Unemployed for a year in a row. It's good. Yes, hopefully, things will pick up. More hours I can move out if my family's home. They can have their den back. So it's been a great year for programming. Thanks for coming. Let's have another great year, and we say we'll do this again next year.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of dessert, coffee, and we'll be dancing on the tables later.